Okay, so what I'd love for you guys to do is you could just, either on your computer or on a notepad, I want you guys this time next year, so like let's call it summer of 2027, where do you want your revenue to be? Just write down a number.
Like annual or monthly, or what do you?
Yeah, just like roughly annual. So if you're looking over the past trailing 12 months, is it like $1 million, $5 million, 500,000, like whatever it is? Yeah. We're just using an arbitrary timeline of next summer because it's a year from now, so that's it. Okay, so let's say that you have whatever the dollar amount is here as the goal. Now again, like we know that obviously there are bigger reasons why we're doing this other than money, but obviously for the sake of this, the math really helps in this type of business model. Okay, so with this business model, for the most part, you make money by enrolling clients. For the most part, it's going to be in conversations on the phone, okay? So if you think of your current price point, just write down how many, and let's just do this. So if you take this number, like the yearly, so let's say it's $1 million, just divide it by 12, just to keep the math simple on this. So that'll be, in this case, if I use $1 million, 83,000 a month. How many clients do you have to enroll per month to hit that target? And just assume, for the sake of simplicity, everyone's paying in full. Okay, so 5,000 times whatever the price point is. So how many clients per month do you need to enroll? So it might be 10, might be 20, might be 50, whatever it is. Everyone got that? Okay, so that's step one. That's step two. Okay, so next thing is, what is your booked to close rate? So how many calls need to be booked, and you'll have this in your critical numbers, in order to enroll one client. So if your booked to close rate is 20%, that means you have 5 calls booked to enroll one client. Make sense? Right, so that incorporates show rate, all that stuff baked into that one number. Does everyone have that percentage? So it's pretty simple. So it's going to be, we're kind of doing, so step 3 here is how many calls need to be booked. And that's going to be based on your book to close rate currently. Now, obviously that can improve over time, but as it stands right now. So does everyone have the number of calls booked they need on a monthly basis? Good. How many clients do you want to enroll per month to hit this number?
86.
86 clients per month?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your current book to close rate?
14%.
So do 86 divided by 14, if that math makes sense. So it's going to be divided by 0.14. So it's going to be in the neighborhood of like 800 and some odd calls booked. Okay. So you have the number of calls booked. Okay. Now again, just for the sake of simplicity, we're assuming all of your calls come from paid traffic, from ads. Okay. So right now, so we have, in order to get this number, we use booked to close percentage. Now we have to look at, well, what is the ad spend required to get this number of calls booked? So the ad spend required is going to be based on what is your current cost per call in your critical numbers. Okay, so currently if you pay $100 per call booked, then you would multiply the number of calls by your cost per call. Right? So if you need 100 calls, each call is 100. How many calls do we need per month? You guys tracking? Are there any questions? I want to make sure you guys understand this, because then it's like this whole thing becomes clear as day in terms of your roadmap. Okay, so you know everyone has this number, right? You have your ad spend per day number. Okay. So now what I want you to think about is how many calls per week can you physically handle? Okay, so just assume like calls booked. I mean, we can worry about conducted separately, but just like I can put 20 hours or 30 hours or 40, my time personally, unless you have a sales team and you want to kind of like take that as a consideration. Basically, what we're trying to get at is how many calls can you physically handle on a monthly basis in terms of calls, book calls. Okay. Generally, for context, like a full-time rep would be about 110 to 130 calls per month booked, calendar availability. Okay, that's if someone's doing it full-time. But if for you, it might be like 80, it might be 60, I don't know. Does that make sense? You want to know, okay, what is the maximum ceiling you're going to hit in terms of you taking the calls?
What did you say that a full-time rep average is
It's about 110 to 130-ish. You can keep it simple to say 100 if you want. Okay, so it's like 25 calls booked per week. Conducted might be 15, 20, whatever it is. But just to keep it relatively simple, it's roughly in that neighborhood. So Rena, if you think about your situation, okay, I can spend 117. If I do, how many calls am I going to get booked in that week, month, whatever? So then you look at, if you take the monthly ad spend, right? So your case would be $3,500 per month, which is amazing. So if you had that number of calls booked, so that's 64 calls you said on the month?
Well, I said I can handle like 20 calls per week at a max.
Yeah.
So that's 4 calls per day times 5.
Yeah.
And then there'll be 80 calls per month would be kind of my capacity.
Sure, but you would need 64 to hit 500,000, right?
Yeah.
So theoretically, your max could be more than 500,000 if you can handle the back end, the delivery. Does that make sense? So for all of you guys, like if you have 86 clients enrolled as a target, you're not taking the calls, you have another rep doing the calls, right? So
4 to 5 reps.
So you need 4 to 5 reps. Okay, so what we're trying to get at here is like, in order for this to happen, whether it's you or you need 5 sales reps, how many, if we keep it simple, let's say 1 full-time rep for 100 calls, more or less. At this ad spend level, how many reps would you need to hit that number? Does that make sense to you guys? Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and you want myself and my leadership team to become an extension of your business, to work with you one-on-one in an advisory capacity and plug you into a high-level mastermind of other 6, 7, and 8-figure health practitioners, then I invite you to learn more about our Healthpreneur Mastery. It's not a coaching program, it's not a do-it-yourself course, it is a very high-level private advisory and exclusive mastermind only for high-level practitioners who want to scale, leave a bigger impact, and build a business that not only makes way more money and more profit, but actually buys back a lot more of your time. So if you feel like the best kept secret and you want to become the best known expert, if you feel like you're working way too hard and you're not sure how to step out of practitioner mode and kind of step into CEO mode and really work on the business as opposed to in the business, if you need help with hiring, branding, your funnel, like acquisition, whatever it might be, we've been doing this for 20 years and we've helped more practitioners now in the thousands than anyone else in our space. Healthpreneur Mastery is an exclusive small knit community. You have to be earning over $500,000 a year to even apply. But if that's where you are or higher and you want me to look in your business and support you in a one-on-one fashion along with our entire leadership team on a consistent basis, then click the link in the description to learn more about Healthpreneur Mastery and see if you qualify.